Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Katowitz. I thought I'd do something a little different this time. Instead of getting up front and talking to you, I thought, you know what, let's try doing a video. And you can listen and pause and stop as you need to. Alright, so our learning objectives today, what we're going to be talking about is the benefits of sharing information online, but also about the safety and security risks of sharing different types of information. We're going to understand what type of information can put them at risk for identity theft and other scams, and distinguish between personal information, which is safe to share online, and private information, which is unsafe to share. Alright, so we're going to start with, let me get my notes here. We're going to start with the first question. What types of information do you think is okay to share publicly online or on a profile that others will see, for instance? Say, for instance, like Facebook or Instagram, as other people like to do. So a good answer would be, interests. Excuse my handwriting. Let's start over. We're going to say, interests would be a good one. My handwriting is terrible, I know. Opinions are okay to share as long as they're respectful. And then maybe your first name that's it, because my first name is Monica, and there are lots of people with the first name of Monica, so nobody could really find me if I just shared my first name. I also like my profile name I use a lot is Library Cat. Now, what are some examples of websites where you must register in order to participate? A good answer would be Facebook. You have to provide some information like your email and your birthday. The reason why they're checking birthday is because to make sure you're not 13 or over 13, excuse me. Maybe YouTube might require you to have what does require you to provide to register. Wow. I'm writing on my laptop, on my iPad, and it is not looking pretty, I'll say that. Maybe some, I know I have some people out there that like to do Instagram. Lots of people. So those are just some examples of places that you would have to register in order to participate. Okay. Now we're going to go to a website online. I want you to take a look at it. Let's see. This is called bookadventure.org or .com, excuse me, bookadventure.com. And this is where you can just participate in some book talking and reading and things like that. Now, what information is required? And why do you think it's required? So, look here. The things with the stars next to it are the ones that are required. Those are things you have to put on here. So that includes your first name and first letter of your last name. You have to provide a username and password. You have to maybe also put, if you join a class, put your teacher's name on here. Now, this is just information that helps distinguish one person from another. If they're registering for a website, you can't have the same username or the same password. Or actually the same username and password. Over here, we have some information that is optional. Like your birthday and your parents' email, the state you live in. And sometimes the websites just do it to be able to kind of keep track of who's where and just what states heavily use it more than others. It's more for survey purposes than anything else. But it's totally optional. Your parents' email address is optional. And now, the thing is that optional is not required for you to put that there. But they ask for this kind of information in order, maybe they want to get people to pay for it, or they want to send messages to people who are signing up so they can get sell stuff. So just be aware, and if you don't want to put it, it's totally optional. You don't need to. Now we're going to go back to private and personal, because some of that information was private and some of it was personal. Some things are safe to share on the internet and some are not. However, the information that's considered safe, should not be shared one-on-one with people you don't already know, offline. Like, for instance, Mrs. Catowitz, me. You can share information with me because I already know you. Now, we're going to talk about the difference between private and personal information. Okay, private information is safe. Or, excuse me, personal information is safe. Guys, forgive me. So we're going to put over here safe to share. All right, and over here is not safe to share. And I will get better with writing on my iPad. Now, some safe to share information might be your favorite food. Like, my favorite food is tacos. So, favorite food. I think my iPad is a little laggy behind. Favorite food. Unsafe information might be your parents' credit card information. Never share that. Your parents will know when to share, when they should use their credit cards on the internet and when not to. Okay. Some other things might be your first name, like we talked earlier. Mother's maiden name, that's the name your mom was born with before she got married and changed it to her husband's name. Your social security number, your date of birth, your phone number, never share that. That's private information. Okay? So, we're going to talk about why we don't share private information. We're going to talk about why we don't share private information, because we have what we call identity thieves out there. What are identity thieves? Identity theft is a person who uses private information to pretend to be that person whose identity he or she has stolen. Okay, so let's get back. I had to pause for a minute. An identity thief is a person that's supposed to, I mistyped that, is a person who uses private information to pretend to be that person whose identity he or she has stolen. Now, why would someone want to steal someone's identity on the internet? Okay, because they want to, maybe steal money. Okay, if they have their credit card information, they can go and buy all kinds of stuff, which is illegal. They want to do something bad or mean. For instance, you forgot to log out of your My Big Campus, and somebody else got on, and they could pretend to be you and do something mean to somebody else, and everybody would think it would be you. So there's one hint for you. Don't forget to log out of My Big Campus. when you're done, to hide who they really are. Some people don't want for anybody to find them. They're in hiding. They're running from the law. So they pretend to be somebody else so that they won't get discovered. All right. So a person, just remember that's the reason why we don't reveal private information, because we don't want somebody to steal our identity. Now, you know, the difference between private information, which can be used to steal your identity, and personal information, which cannot be used to steal your identity. Okay? Just remember that. We're going to talk about what kinds of private information could an identity thief use to find out and steal your identity. We say that we don't give our first and last name. I can say Monica. That's my first name. Okay, Brian, my husband can say Brian online, but he doesn't use his first and last name. Okay, so first and last name. Ah! Okay. Address. That's another one. Never put up your address. Next. Email. Ask your mom or dad or teacher before sharing your email address with a website online. Phone number. We talked about credit card numbers earlier, and social security cards, and mother's maiden name. Now, what kinds of personal information could you share without showing your identity? This is one a identity thief would not be interested in having. They couldn't do anything with it. They couldn't steal money. They couldn't pretend to be somebody else. You know, maybe your age. Look how many second graders and third graders and fourth graders we have. If you say, I'm a fifth grader, they couldn't tell who you were. Brothers and sisters. Like how many you have. I have 3 brothers. How many other people have more than one brother or sister? Favorite band. Pay attention to this, guys, because you are going to have to write your own personal profile later, and so I want you guys to keep in mind these are some of the things you can use to write your personal profile. That will be your assignment on My Big Campus. I ran into favorite band. Like I can say my favorite band is Maroon 5. Let's see. Your favorite food. I love tacos. I can share that about myself. Anybody ever want to share tacos with me or bring me homemade tacos? I would eat them. What pets you have? I have a dog. He's grumpy. He's 13. I can tell you his name. His Zeus. All right. And then maybe an opinion about an important issue. It could be anything from, you know, what you think about recess, or, you know, should we have chocolate milk or white milk for lunch or for breakfast? That's those are things that you can share that are personal information, not private. All right. So what you're going to do now is we're going to go back to my once I'm finished talking, you can go to My Big Campus and log in. And under your schoolwork, you're going to see a schoolwork. And remember, your logins, and I will get them to you if you don't have them, are your student ID and your lunch code. Under schoolwork, if you go under schoolwork, you will see a schoolwork. You will see the name. I haven't put that up there yet. And you see a teacher. You see mine. You don't see yours. You will see an assignment named Private and Personal Information. And what you will do is you will click on it and answer the questions. And if you don't finish before we are done, or it's time to check out books, you may finish the next day. All right, and then you will submit that. So there will be several short answer questions and 3 multiple choice questions. If you have any questions for me,